Since September 11th, nearly 5.5 million young Americans have enlisted in the United States Armed Forces. Nearly 7,000 service members have died facing down the menace of radical Islamic terrorism.
All right, shalom, shalom, all right, as you can see, today is 9/11. The Spirit told me to do something on this earlier, actually. It's like it. As I was leaving work, now I'm back at work, and figured I just go ahead, say my piece, because 9/11 was a pretense for, all terrorist attacks that followed. Most of them are, the majority of them, the biggest ones, the more propagated ones, the ones that's in the media the most, are the ones that are generated. And we're going to see more generated crises, generated terrorist attacks by the privatized authorities, that's behind the scenes, the ones that's in secrecy, okay? Because once again, their mantra is, chaos out of order, okay? So they generate chaos and they bring order, okay? The Hegelian dialectic, pressure from above, pressure from below. We brothers looked that all up, and these are a pretense for things to come. Once again, they blamed it on the terrorists. They made Islamic Muslims the primary demonized, the primary enemy towards the freedom of America. They propagate to the masses of the people that the Muslims want to take that freedom away, and for the most part, it's part of their agenda. So, and likewise, they're going to do it towards other groups. When you go into the Project Megiddo and other things that they got set up, these are all for the pushing of their agenda. So I'm gonna get into some scriptures. Lord willing, you brothers and sisters be edified, and I'm gonna get to it. How y'all doing? All right. So yeah, kind of had to pause it for a sec, but for example, they're still pushing the same narrative. They still propagating the same thing. Now they're gonna bring in other groups, and you got the main people who's pushing this, pushing the propaganda is people like the Poverty Southern Law Center of Poverty Laws, something like that. The Southern Poverty Law Center. All right, Shalaki. So, and they're gonna keep pushing this narrative, and then they're gonna bring in other groups to demonize, mainly, Black Hebrew Israelites, nationalists, all these other things, all these other, groups. But I had the scripture, and I'm gonna go ahead. Shalaki brothers, bear with me for a second. Oh yeah. Oh, so second address 16 and 21. All right. So second address 16:21. Shalaki, man. 16:21. All right, so it says, behold, victuals shall be sold good cheap. Oh, the part of, I want to bring in the normalcy biased. basically. And what that means is that people won't consider the things. They'll take the terrorist attacks lightly. And that's the thing we don't want to do. That the scriptures talk about being circumspect. So you want to see everything and know what's going on around you, because these things will happen. All right. So 2 Ezra 16:21, it says, "Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion." And those terrorist attacks, though, that's great. That's part of the great confusion. Okay. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So these are the things that's coming to the world, which a lot of people are ignoring. But hey, 9/11 proves that these things are very, very real, and it's part of that great confusion that's going to come. Okay. Also, they got other agendas lined up within this whole, motion of things that they got going. So you got to be wise and circumspect to that. So my next scripture, Salakia. I know I got people texting me. As long as y'all see the numbers straight. Anyway, so this is Ephesians 5:15. It says, "See then that you walk circumspectly." Let's go into the word. Exactly, accurately, diligently. All right. So your actions have to be exact. Your understanding has to be exact. Your judgment, let's say that, you have to be accurate. Okay, on what's going on. Okay, you can't be second guessing and assuming. Do the research. Dig into what's going on. Dig. Don't just take things for face value. Go into it. Diligence and diligently. Meaning be assertive. Be put haste about it. Not in a bad way, but in a good way. All right. So it says circumspectly, and we know the word derives from it says akribos, akribos. All right, which means Salakia, which means all right. So Salakia, I got a few distractions, but yeah. So basically, what I'm going to circum, meaning to see, circum, around, spect, meaning to see. So that's what we want to be. We want to judge exactly, accurately, and we want to be diligent. We want to be diligent about what's going on, or inquiring what's going on. Okay. All right. It says, "See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil." All right. "Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is," and that's key. We have to understand what the will of the Lord is for the times that we live in, and that's death, destruction, prophecy being brought to pass. Our brothers and sisters waking up, those that be of the elect, and the wicked being judged. Persecution, all of these things are things to factor in. Okay. All right. So yeah, redeeming the time because the days are evil. All right. And there's the time we live in. We live in evil times, man. Understanding what the will of the Lord is. All right. All right. So it's a lot, yeah. All right, so quickly, I want to go into this word normalcy, bias, and it pretty much, we see this through the scriptures, So the scriptures just explained it, A lot of people gonna think they're in good case, and that's not that's not what's happening. No, nobody's in good case, And really, the scriptures talk about this being perilous times, you know. So it's like I'm getting distraction after distraction. But it says normalcy bias or normality bias. All right, is a belief people hold when facing a disaster. It causes people to underestimate both the likelihood of a disaster and its possible effects. See, our people don't think that what happens overseas can affect them in their world. You know, a lot of people downplay. You know, when you talk about global economics, you know, they'll look at you crazy, like what they got to do with me and what they got to do with the food for less or the pick and save that I shop at, or you know, or the banks that I go to. You know, they think everything is secure, and it's not. And the Most High is judging the world, so all things are, you know, subject to the judgment of Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai. You know, so it says, because people believe that things will always function the way things normally have functioned, and that's the witchcraft. Because in America, people hold that ideal that everything will be okay. You know, they can't be touched. You know, they teach you that mainly in the church, in the Christian church. You know, so you know, people are never going to be prepared if they have that mentality. You know, they're not going to be prepared for what's to come. You know, so this may result in situations where people fail to adequately prepare themselves for disasters. All right, and people get content, you know, and of their situation. And if you're not, you know, constantly tried, and that's, you know, the Lord said, be as a vagabond. You know, He said He had no place of dwelling. You know, so He's always up on the go. He was never stuck in comfortability. You know, when He would go to the Mount of Olives to get comfort, you know, every now and again. So us likewise, you know, we have our times where we wind down, you know, but you know, it's kind of time to wind up and stay, you know, circumspect. Because the scriptures talk about these times being evil times, dangerous times. All right, very dangerous times. All right, and we got to get out of this mind of nigga mentality, being emotional. Slacking. I got flies all around me and stuff. So, but it's time out for that, you know. It says, and it says the failure of governments to include. It says this may result in situations where people fail to adequately prepare themselves for disasters, and on a larger scale, the failure of governments to include the populace in its disaster preparations. All right, so if you watched the video on mine like a few days ago, I was going in about Venezuela, and a lot of those people wasn't prepared when the government shut down. Now you probably had a select few that was, you know, did things naturally, grew their own food, you know, just basically all around have knew how to sustain their lives. But here in America, everything is done for you. So you know, just imagine if you knew about herbs and you know, and how to ration food and eat, you know, lightly. You'd be able to take care of yourself. You know, so you got people in Venezuela doing as such. You know, they're doing that, but a lot of people were caught off guard because they were normal on normality bias or normacy bias. Okay, so it says it says about 70% of people reportedly display normacy bias in disasters. All right. So you see all these crazy things happening in the world. You see all these confusions, which is going to be more here in America, and they're going to start blaming people. So don't be confused. Don't be normacy bias. You know. So it's pretty much what I want to go over. You know, being circumspect. Don't be content with what you have in your environment. This ain't living. Okay, this is definitely not living, and you have to understand that. You know, We live in a system where the establishment is purposely generating crises in our very neighborhoods. You know, the water we drink, the air we breathe, the media we listen to. All right, we're being exploited on every level. So just know that, you know. And with that, I'm gonna give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Makakodash, Taban, to the apostles, and that was that great millstone. Hey, shalom to you, brothers. All right, shalom.